Welcome to the Shoemaker Lab. This is your host, Dane Shoemaker. This is the official podcast of Shoemaker Films. We're a video production and digital marketing agency based in the greater Philadelphia area. Today's episode, we're going to be diving into how we work with clients to produce content on a regular basis. So for those clients that we're producing a regular syndicated weekly YouTube show or podcast, or we're doing social media content for, this is how we work with clients. There was a past episode where we talked about developing a content strategy. You're going to want to check that out. Once we have the content strategy, this is basically how we execute this. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're a small business owner, you have a lot of hats to wear. You do not have a lot of time on your plate. However, marketing is how your business grows, right? You need to tell people what you do. You need to let people know about what you do, where your business is, what you offer, things like that. We can help you with that. So our proprietary subscription model is where, we'll actually come into your business either, 4, 5, 6 hours a month. And that creates upwards of 80 to 100 pieces of content every month. So you're really maximizing your time as an entrepreneur, as a small business owner, because a couple hours a month with us turns into tons of content for YouTube, for a podcast, for your social media. So let's walk through how we kind of break that down. And if you have questions after the podcast, please drop them in the comments below, or you can send us an email. Just go to our website, shoemakerfilms.com/contact. So let's jump into ClickUp now, and we'll walk through that. This is the whiteboard function inside of ClickUp. It's very handy. So when we work with clients, right, on developing a content strategy, oftentimes we will start with sort of our, main piece of content, right? That might be, a main podcast or YouTube show. This might be once a week, right? Maybe it's every other week, something like that. But really, it's a single long form piece of content. This might be, 30 to 45 minutes in length, right? That's one day a month where we go into your business and we film. Typically we're planning ahead of that, and we're discussing what the topics that we're going to do. We're usually going to do 3, 4, 5, maybe, 6 episodes in one day, to really maximize your time, right? So once we have the main episode filmed, then we can take the audio from that, right? This audio will be put on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartMedia. Typically, we use a tool called Transistor that puts the audio out to a dozen or so different platforms, right? So in addition to the audio, obviously you have the video as well. So, this is going to go on YouTube, right? So that video is now on YouTube, right? So we've developed that piece of content, and that's now a piece of audio and a piece of video content, right? We can also take this video. Maybe you have a blog, right? Instead of just relying on YouTube, maybe you want to put that video out on a blog, right? And it's an actual written article now, right? So you have the video, you have the audio, and you have a written article now that all is the same piece of content. So from there, we're going to take the long form episode and we're going to turn that into short form video, right? So what that is, TikTok, YouTube, Shorts, IG, Instagram, Facebook Reels, right? So from one YouTube video, you can generate, really a lot of content, a lot of shorts, right? So typically what we do for our clients is anywhere from 4 to 5 per episode. But you could, in theory, do 10 or more, right? It all depends on, how much content you want to make from that, right? So we're just going to put this all here on one row for the sake of simplicity, right? From that single long form video, we have, let's call it 4 shorts. Again, you can do 5, 6, 7, 10, 15. As long as there's enough content in there that makes sense, you can do that, right? From the article, right? From the written article, and a lot of times what we'll do is actually take, AI assisted. We'll take the transcript from the video. We'll use that as kind of a starting point and then clean that up and turn that into a blog. You can pull out the key points from the blog, and those become your tweets or X's, whatever they're called now, threads, LinkedIn post, right? Any sort of shorter form written copy, right? Written content, and these key points are probably related to these videos, right? So if you're going to do a short from here, that short could be a standalone, post or something like that on X or Threads or LinkedIn. There's plenty of other platforms out there, right? On top of that, there's plenty of other ways to repurpose some of this content, right? So, you may have photos or screenshots from the video. You can also do carousels, right? So carousels are those nice, basically slideshows, right, that you can flip through on Instagram. LinkedIn has a good application of this through PDFs. So these become basically a summary of maybe the video, maybe it's a summary of a couple key points, or a summary of a video, right? So you have static post, maybe a photo or a screenshot that's summarizing one of these key points from LinkedIn, or a carousel where it's actually like a slideshow that kind of summarizes that full video, the full article, or one of these individual videos, right? So again, this is really breaking it down. From one piece of content, you get, let's call it a dozen or so, right? So now we're doing this multiple times over though, right? So one production day, we're actually doing 4 episodes, right? So in a 4 to 5 period episode, we're actually filming 4 episodes. And from there, you're getting 40, 50, 60 pieces of content that's going out per month, right? So this is really just tactically how we look at creating content for our clients. Again, it's really all about repurposing, readapting ideas. So you have one main idea, and that gets distributed out to all of the platforms: LinkedIn, Threads, X, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, all the audio streaming platforms. So it's a great way to maximize your time. If you're a busy entrepreneur, you only have a couple hours a month, we can turn those couple hours into a lot of content to support your marketing efforts. So if that's something that you're interested in learning more about, please get in touch with us. We can, happy to break this out with you and do some brainstorming and see if we can help you out. Until next time, thank you. Thanks for listening today. Shoemaker Lab is an original production by Shoemaker Films, LLC. If you enjoyed today's content, please consider subscribing on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your content. Follow us on Instagram at shoemaker.films. And if you're a business that's either interested in our video production services or would like to be a guest on the show, get in touch by using the contact form on our website, shoemakerfilms.com.